back. Today I'm going to paint a magnolia. Yeah, let's take a look at the painting I'm going to be. Whoa, there it is. Look at that. Isn't that great? Notice the stem, how it kind of curves, and another one curving this way. This gives us some energy to the painting. Never put your stems in straight, but always have a slight curve. Let's take a look at the painting. I have a sketch on here, and I know you're at home you're saying, well, good for you, but how do you get that sketch on there? Well, I have an opaque projector, and I take my photograph, put it in the projector, and project it up. And once I have my pattern on there, I go in and put, with my pencil, I sometimes go in and put little darks in here. You can see them just kind of floating around, just to kind of nail the sketch down. The background, before I put the sketch on, I have an acrylic background back here. And you can see some pinks and greens, and mostly it's kind of in the middle, very pastel colors, surrounded by some white. But you can see brush strokes in there. You can see how loose and free the background is. This is very important, not to put it in very tight. There's a pattern in the book if you don't want to go through projecting it up and going all through that. But the projector is great because you guys have to learn to take your own photographs, put them in the projector, and get them up there and get started. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's come down to the palette. I've got a color I've already mixed. By the way, the canvas is ultra smooth canvas. This is black, royal mauve, and white. That's what's in this mixture, and I'm using good old oil paint. Let's take it. Oh, and medium. I've got some medium you'll see me dipping into, and some odorless thinner to clean my brushes. All right. Also, there's a top on it, so when you're not using it, you can close it. Very important. Let's take a touch of medium. Now, let's just test it up here and see if this is the kind of gray. Oh, that's pretty good. We got lucky. And we're going to put it on. I'm using a filbert to put it on with. And I always like to put the gray tones in first because it holds the whole painting together. I'm going to take another gray up here. And if you shake, just push on the canvas. See, I push and I scrub. Not a lot of medium. If you put too much medium with it, it gets too thin. And too much of the underpainting comes through. So we have our gray. The front petal is really quite gray. Looks like it might be a little dark. So let's take a little white down here at the end of my little color string, and we'll lighten it up. There, that's better. No medium, very light value. So it's a light value going right in here, coming over to getting a little bit darker over here. No medium, because if you put medium with it, it makes it too translucent and we're in trouble. So let's come back down. We're picking up, and all we're doing is going around. You can see how easy it is. Once you have your sketch on, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do this stuff, guys. Everybody thinks there's a big mystery to painting, and really it isn't. There is no mystery to it. It's just doing the right thing at the right time. And the right thing at the right time is putting in all of these beautiful gray tones. Back down, picking up a little more gray, and in it goes. Now this is pretty flat. The value is pretty flat, but when we start creeping in, we're going to come up here towards the top of that color string where the paint is darker, and we'll pick up a little dark right in there and just sort of brush it out. See it? And where else? Oh, maybe we have a hair, a little dark right in there. Oh, where else? Maybe a little hair right in there. Now, what else do we need? Oh, we got a nice big petal right here. I'll take a touch of medium. And I'll start with a gray that's not too dark and not too light. This is called a middle tone. That enables us to go in and make it darker or make it lighter. We can go up the scale or down the scale, just like music, where you have your bass notes, and we're going to come in here and put our bass note in. And that's where the drums start going, boom, 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 and this is the bass right in here. Yeah, see it go? And you brush it out. Then we come up to our lighter value, and we'll put a little bit of a light right in here. Maybe get a little more white right in there. And these are the violins playing the high notes, not too high. What else do we have? We have all of our gray. I'm just checking it out, make sure I have all my grays in. Let's tint our grays. Let's take a yellow and orange, because it's boring if you just have gray. So let's just put, oh boy, look at that. Now this is wet into wet. We're taking our color and we're going on top of the gray color. Very dry. Boom. Then I wipe the brush in my odorless thinner, and then I'll take a little, I already have this mixed up, aqua blue and yellow. And this is going to go in, and this will be a color that's reflected from the beautiful leaves that are down there. Yes. And over here on top of this gray, we're going to put a little green. Very dry. See, the dry sticks to the wet paint underneath. If you go in there with medium, it blends in. Okay, let's take a little more of this yellow and green, and I'm going to find a tint there. Here a tint, there a tint. It is a little bit up in there, and a little bit way up there. Yes. Now, I'm going to clean that brush. I'm using titanium white. Come on down, and we're using a filbert brush with a rounded size. And I'm going to come up here and whoa, hello. Somebody help me. Look at that white going in, and follow the drawing. And it goes. Now where we have a hard edge, we're just going to just kind of pull it together a little. See? Just sort of tickle it. Tickle, 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 tickle. I'm going to come back down, pick up a little more white. And it goes in here, and I'm putting it on dry. It's titanium white, which is the whitest white. And it really covers beautifully. And it goes, turn the brush to the side, sneak it in, and hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. And so it blends. Can you see it blending? Oh, you know what? I see a little, whenever you see, if you're working from a photo or from the real flower, look for the little subtle things that are happening, because that makes the flower. Back down into our white. Simple, simple. I know. You're going, oh, it must be harder than this. No, it's not. These are kind of graphic-y paintings. There are paintings that are really hard-edged, not a lot of blending going on, and very simple to do. We teach these in our workshops a lot. Let's come on down, and there's a lot of white right in here. And we'll put that in. Get the whole flower going. We get the whole flower going, and then we look at it and go, well, we tweak it. We go in and fuzz little edges out, add a little more white here and there. But you have to have the whole thing going first. Now where that comes in the inside, I can see it gets a little darker. So on our color string, I'll go up to the dark side and put a little dark right in there. See it? And then let's take, royal mauve. Royal mauve. Yes, beautiful color. I love mauve. And we're going to take some of that and place it over here and kind of bring that out a little. Now, if it looks a little rough to you, you can just blend it out. Wipe the brush and blend it out. It takes a little while to blend, but spend the time, it's worth it. There. Now, how are we doing? If it looks a little rough, a little El Ruffo, your blending brush. It comes to your rescue. Ba-da-boom, 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 ba-da-boom. And we just kind of blend it. See? And this smooths everything out. Right into here, into here. Look at, and brush, when you blend in the direction that the petal's going. You see? Here, 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 here. All right. Now in the center of this one, there's a little thing. I don't know what it's called. and I don't care. We're going to take our orange, a little yellow, and let's get that little guy in there because I know I'll forget. And in it goes. See it? I'm using my little round brush. So I start out with sort of a dark color. See? And then I'll go back into it with some yellow and some white and keep the center very loose and very free. You just pat, pat. Okay. And then, oh, you might take a little of our deep burgundy, just a little bit of it, and you might find it just a little bit of it kind of peeking around. Not too much, all right, otherwise it gets too. Let's take our aqua blue and yellow combination, kind of makes a nice green. Right in here, I see a nice reflected light. Yes. And coming down, we're going to take some of maybe a little bit of our dark green and some of our mauve and a little bit of a dark right coming out of here. There's a lot of detail in there. I might not get it all, but it'll be in the book for you guys. Let's see, I'm just making sure I'm getting all these darks in there because it's the darks that help separate everything. Yes, see? And we might take a little white, just sneak some of this right on the edge, right in there. Just sort of accents the edge just a little bit. I see a little more of it up here. It's not going to show right now too much until I get the dark on. Now, we have beautiful darks behind the flower, which is going to pop that magnolia right out of there. We're going to take our foliage green dark, maybe a touch of sienna, and very dry. And we have a beautiful dark. Now watch how I'm going to sneak that in. Beautiful dark right here. You see that? Look how it's popping that flower out of there. And there's going to be a leaf right here. And just follow the drawing. That's all you're doing. And right around the edge. So if you get the drawing in there, you're 90% home free. Foliage green dark and a little touch of sienna. And we want another, watch it bring out that petal. There might be a little center that comes up, a little dark back here. Remember, I always put the dark in first. And then I'll go back in and highlight it. This is our aqua blue and yellow. And we'll take that up here. And watch how I take it at an angle and just brush it in until it just loses itself. See it? And the other side. Well, let's pick up a little more of that wonderful green down here and get it in. And again, I won't have a chance to get every little thing in here, but you'll see it in the book. White, a little touch of cad red light, and we'll get a little stem, little vein work going in here. See it? Now this stuff is important, this little stuff. People have a tendency to skip by the little stuff. There. Cool. Now there is some little stroke work in there. Just kind of loosen it up. Just leave it, hit it, and leave it. Let's come down and put the next one in. Foliage green, dark, and sienna. And I see a little bit in here coming in. Put our darks in first. This one had a bit of a design on the leaf. See, it's flat and turn, flat and turn. Yes. Nice and dark underneath here. Coming on over. Now right in this area, I see a dark in there, but actually it's a dark from behind. Who knows what it is? It could be a leaf back there, don't know. But we're going to just go in and darken that up. It's actually just there to show the petal off. That's the main function of that. It could be anything in the back. But don't concern yourself about it. This is sienna. And this leaf is turned over, so there is a Well, let's take our sienna and a touch of orange, because it does turn a little orangey in there. And that comes up, it hits yellow and orange, and comes up into a lighter shot right in there. See? Now they're going to take let's put a little sky blue with that green. And I'm going to have a little bit right in here. See? And brush it. Angle that stroke towards the back. And work it in. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Your finished stroke should be at the angle. It doesn't really matter how you put it in as long as you finish up with your stroke going towards the back. All right. Nice color. Now as it comes up here, it gets a little pale. So it takes some sky blue and white. Already mixed some of it up, and it goes right in there. So we have a little extra light and angle towards the back. Now we do have a little bit of a vein, a little cad red light and orange, touch of yellow. Go right in here and down. And then we'll kind of grab it and pull it through. See? Cool. Let's take our foliage green dark and a little touch of sienna over here. We'll get a nice dark going in here. So now the shadow is so important because it really helps to bring everything out. There's another leaf here. Oh, we got leaves all over the place. And we'll get that in. And while we're in the neighborhood, let's take a little green, foliage green, dark, and a little sienna. Oh yeah, you see this dark comes right in. Back and forth, back and forth. And as it comes down, we're gonna take your finger and just kind of let it bleed out into nothing. And a stem on this fellow over here. And pull that out. Now we're going to go back up and take our aqua blue and yellow on this little fellow. Put it in. Again, you have more time to do this stuff than I do. All I am doing up here is I'm like a road map. I'm just giving you a direction to go in. But I don't want you guys to try to paint as fast as I'm painting. And don't even try to paint along with me. Whew, just too fast. Little stuff in here. We have, actually this one up here has a petal that's overlapped. So we'll get a little light on the top. A little orange maybe mixed with the green because it gets sort of a little warm tone over here. And down, and it kind of comes to a little nice little edge right there. Yeah, so it's just sort of flipped over. I want you guys to get texture in your leaves too, because that's characteristic of this kind of leaf. And you can just kind of go in and pat it to get some nice texture going. Over in here, pat it. I see some warm color over there. We'll steal some time. We'll take some orange and sienna. And I see some nice warm. Yeah, it's really characteristic of the magnolia where it does turn color on the edge. Zowie! I'm standing back and looking at it and going, well, what am I leaving out? Anything? A little more dark up in here, I can see. Not dark enough. If your green doesn't go dark enough for you, add a little black to it. That'll make it darker. Yes. And I want a shadow cast. So that looks like that petal is casting a shadow. Why not? Sometimes you have to improve on nature just a little bit. Well, let's see. We got our bud down here. And it's done the same way, guys. We're going to take our black and white. Has a touch of mauve. Not too much. And we'll get that in here. I'm going to put a little touch of medium with it. And we have a little touch over here and here. Now, a little touch of medium helps the paint to spread nicely. Yeah. Then we'll come back down, take some yellow, orange, and white. yellow, orange, white, and get a little highlight on here. And maybe another little light in there. And something happening in here. And inside of that, let's take our deep burgundy, a little orange, and our little bud. Gets very dark in here. Now I'm going to bring it up. I want that dark to be really down in there. I'm going to come down and pick up my gray. This has a little touch of mauve in it. Remember, you have to have dark underneath to show light. All right. Notice I'm using the side of the filbert to get those little edges coming out and pull it down in. Should be darker down way in there. Let's get darker. There, that's what we want. Yes. Then we're going to come down and take our white. Maybe there's a touch of yellow in it. And we'll sort of hit it like this. Kind of hit it and pull up. Has these little things sticking in there. Then we'll take our little round brush, take some deep burgundy, and we might find a little shot. Just here and there, don't get carried away with too much. You can even hit it, take our filbert and hit it. If they start standing out too much, to soften the whole thing in. All right. Not too bad. Take some white, more white, go back in on this little bud. Again, you can spend more time with yours. And just hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, until it softens up. Let's take a little bit of our sky blue and a little touch of white, and we're going to get a little shot right in there. And a shot in there, and a shot in there. Here a shot, there a shot. Little ochre and orange is always good. Oh yeah, that's a cool color right in there. See how it just popped that leaf out of there? Maybe a little shot in there. Sometimes the leaves will turn a little color, a little orange, a little touch of red. And way over here, just a kind of a hint. Makes it look real cool. Oh, I see a little leaf down below. Just kind of hanging around, not bothering anybody, but he's right in here. We put our dark in first. And then we'll take a little ochre and white and put the little top knot on him. Yes. Then we have little stuff. We have another brush. Let's come down to the palette. This is our liner or twiggy. And we'll take this up here and put our little guys in. And a little more dark green. Don't get carried away, you guys, with too many of these. I see way up on that. Oh, you know, I left it dark off on the top. So we'll take our green and sienna. Because it's this dark up here that brings out the top there. Now we're cooking. And just sort of brush that out, or use your finger to brush it out. We have some little light stems going in. Light. And we'll get, because we have a nice dark in here, we see we can come in with some stem work. And hanging around up on the top, there's some baby's breath just kind of hanging around up here. And this is put in very loose and very free. Maybe it just sort of comes on up and just loses itself into the background. You can have a little touch of sky blue with it. There we go. And don't just get, notice how I wiggle the brush. Don't get dotty. You don't want to do that. Okay. Now there's some more, there's more on the bottom of this baby's breath, but I probably won't have time to get it all in for you. Take a look at the painting and you'll see I have some baby's breath in the painting right about down in here, but I don't have time to get it in for you. But I promise I promise it'll be in the book for you guys to refer to. And take your time with this painting. See, there's a lot more detail. I just didn't have time to get it all in for you. Get this texture in there and get the baby's breath all in on the top. It's a great painting for you guys to do. Well, thanks for watching out there. I hope your painting turns out. And don't forget to stop and smell the magnolias along the way. And I'll see you guys next time.